Forghat is a mountain passage. So the Maratha army gathered under the leadership of Maharji Shinde. So the Marathas, who was the leader of the Marathas? It was Maharji Shinde itself. So the Marathas blocked the supply of food grains to the British using guerrilla tactics. So the food supplies, everything which was being given to the British, they had stopped this food supply. Both the armies met at Vadgaon. Vadgaon is in today's Pune Nasik highway. So the roads were the British was defeated in this battle. So see, British lost in this battle, which was taken place between the Marathas and the British, and were forced to surrender the custody of the Gunath Rao to the Marathas. That means the Marathas won in this battle, and as per their uh, they had decided that the one who wins this battle is going to rule India. So again, the Marathas won, and everything was in the hands of Marathas. But see, students, while we continue, you will see how the Marathas, how again there were many fights, and finally everything went off from the hands of the Marathas into the hand of the British. Okay, so Delhi was under the Maratha control till 1803. That means Delhi now was still under Maratha control. When we note that the British conquered India after battling with the Marathas, we understood the importance of Maharji's achievements. That means how important it was, how Maharji Shinde had fought and he kept alive the Maratha prestige. After setting in order the affairs of Delhi, Maharji came to Pune. He died at Vanewadi near Pune, where a memorial is built to him. That means finally, after giving so much contribution, after achieving so much to the Maratha power, finally he died at Vanewadi near Pune. And there a memorial, that means a statue is also built on his name. See this, you can see memorial. Okay, this is this image you can see here. It was known as, they named it as Shinde Chhatri, which is in Vanewadi, Pune. Like the Shindes, the Holkars, the Bhosles, some other prominent Marathas also rendered noteworthy service to the Maratha Raj. The navy raised by Shivaji Maharaj was strengthened by Kanoji Agre and his son Tulaji. Now we know this, we have seen when Shivaji Maharaj was alive, he had strengthened this navy. Navy means a water forefront which protects all the water borders. Okay, that means the enemy coming from the water borders. There, the navy is used to protect that. So that force was, that navy was built up by Shivaji Maharaj. Okay, and it was strengthened by Kanoji Agre and his son Tulaji. And with this strong navy, they contained the naval powers of the Portuguese, the British, and the Siddhis. They defended the coastline of Maratha state. That means they protected the coastline of Maratha state as well. Khanderao Dabade and his son uh, Trimbak Rao laid the foundation of Maratha power in Gujarat. So now in different places, how they started building their rule, that is given here. And after the death of Khandera, his wife Umabai routed the Mughal Sardar of Ahmedabad. Even she conquered the fort there. So even the contribution of the Khanderaos, okay, even that is a noteworthy, very noteworthy achievement. Then later, after the Khanderao, it was the Gaikwad who made Vadodara in Gujarat a seat of their power. Then the Pawars of Dhar and Devas in Madhya Pradesh, even they rendered valuable assistance to Shindes and Holkars in expanding the Maratha power in the north. That means the Gaikwads, the Pawars, the Devas, even these people had helped the Shindes and Holkars to expand the Maratha supremacy in the north. Then, the Maratha state was in disarray after the death of Peshwa Madhavrao. But see, after the death of Peshwa Madhavrao, the Maratha state was completely disturbed. Nana Fadnavis, the famous administrator of the Peshwa and the Maratha statement, set of right affairs of the state with the help of Maharji. While Maharji was busy restoring the Maratha supremacy in the north, Nana managed the affairs of the south. It In this, he was helped by the Patwardhans, Haripant Phadke, and the Rastes and other Sardars. As a result of this, Maratha supremacy was established in the south as well. Now, see, now till now we have seen how the Maratha supremacy was established, was gained back in the north. But even after the contribution of Nana Sahib Fadnavis, along with the help of the Patwardhans, Haripants, Rastes, and other Sardars, even they had established their supremacy in the south as well. The Holkars of Indore, Bhosles of Nagpur, Shindes of Gwalior, Gaikwads of Vadodara, all these people, they brought glory to the Maratha power on the basis of their valor, bravery, leadership qualities, capabilities. So, on the basis of all their qualities which they possessed, they brought about glory, that means expansion to the Maratha power. They were the pillars of Maratha power in its last phase. Now, see, this was the last phase of the Maratha power, as I told you. By the end, we will see how their rule, even though Maharji Shinde and other Sardars had contributed the best to expand the Maratha kingdom, how they made it into an empire. But still, everything went in the hands of the British. That is why here it is said that they were the last, they were the strong pillars of the last phase of the Maratha power. The Maratha Sardars were successful in establishing the influence of Maratha power both in north and south of India. That means still now, even in the north as well as in the south, the Maratha power was established. But after the death of Maharji Shinde and Nana Fadnavis, now see, we know Maharji Shinde died, and also now they have told that Nana Fadnavis, who had um, established the Maratha supremacy in the south. Now, these two were the main leaders. Okay, one was of the north and one was of the south. But after their death, what happened? Everything started to wane. Wane means everything started to decrease. The Maratha power slowly was decreased. At that time, Bajirao too, the son of Raghunath Rao, was the Peshwa. And by the time of Nana Fadnavis's death, what happened? Bajirao too, who was the son of Raghunath Rao, he was made the Peshwa. He did not have leadership qualities and had many vices. That means, see, now every time we have seen that whoever was made the Peshwa, they possessed all the capabilities. Okay, they were brave, they had good administrative power and everything. But now, when Bajirao too was made the Peshwa, everything was he did not have any qualities. In fact, he had many vices. Vices means he had many wrongdoings. He did not have that capability to be a ruler. He was unable to unite the Maratha Sardar. That means now see the Maratha Sardars, they were together. But now what happened after when he became, he could not keep the unity among them. Now because he did not keep the unity among the Maratha Sardars, what happened? There was enmity. There was the Maratha Sardars itself became enemies of one another. And because of this, everything started to weaken. Now, the power which had become so strong in the north as well as in the south, there that started to weaken now. And when it started to weaken, only after Bajirao too was made the Peshwa because he did not have any capability. So during the reign of Bajirao too, the Maratha influenced the north and south waned further. The British replaced the Marathas. So in this way, see what happened. Now, if the Maratha rule, the leader is only not strong. If the leader is completely weak, what will happen? The obviously it is obvious that the enemy will have the complete control. So that is what happened here. See, the British finally replaced the Marathas because there was no power left with the Marathas up till now. Now, see, from the start, we saw how Maharji Shinde contributed, how the Holkars of Indore, Shindes of Gwalior, how these people, these Sardar, they contributed and gave their best to expand the Maratha kingdom, right? But still, now we can see only because of Bajirao too, who did not possess any capability, and because of the death of Maharji Shinde and Nana Fadnavis, everything started to weaken, and finally, Marathas were lost over here. So Maratha, that is why I told you this was the last phase of the Maratha power. And those people were the last leaders, the last pillars who had fought to keep the Maratha power, to keep the Maratha supremacy alive. So finally, the British, they replaced the Marathas. And since they replaced, what happened? The British captured Pune in 1817 and hoisted their flag Union Jack there. Now, Union Jack is the name of the England flag. Now, just as our flag, the Indian flag, it is known as the tricolor flag. Okay, the same way, the name of the England flag was Union Jack. So the British, what they did, they hoisted their flag there. And the hoisting of flag is considered to be very prominent, because the who's the one whose flag is hoisted, they become the ruler of that state. So now they hoisted their flag and everything came. With this, the Marathas were completely defeated and everything came in the hands of the British. So the British defeated Marathas in the Battle of Asti in Sholapur district, and finally the Maratha power came to an end. This event marks a major change in the history of India. After this, the British managed to gain control over a major part of India. India came in contacts with Western world. Now, if British is ruling, then everything will be influenced by the Western world. Western means now whatever is taking place in England, that everything is going to come in India. That led to many changes in India's social system. But we can say that for one thing, India was completely into blind faith and everything. But when Western culture came in India, there were many changes in India as well. That means all the social system, the social custom, all this was replaced. Okay, and there was drastic change. We can say many old things became redundant and were put aside. That means whatever was old was removed away. This was a major transformation. Why major transformation? Because they followed everything about the Western culture. A major change took place. The medieval period of Indian history came to an end, and with this, the medieval period, that means the rule of Shivaji Maharaj and everything, all the Maratha power came to an end. And with this, there was a complete end to the medieval period and start of modern period began. So remember this year also, it was 1818. Okay, 1818 was the end of the medieval period, and from there on the modern period had began. Okay, so with this we complete our lesson number 12, progression of the empire, where we saw how the Marathas were finally defeated and replaced by the British. And with this also the medieval period had come to the end and the British rule had began now. Okay, so now when you will go to your eighth standard, I told you, you will be completely introduced to the rule of the Britishers. Okay, so I hope you have understood the lesson. And with this, we complete our explanation part.